Crystal.
How are you?
Well, more importantly, how are you?
Good. I know, first and foremost, I know you never really see me like this. It's
Like
just,
what?
not really put together. But in a way, I'm put together. So I didn't go to work today.
Okay, so what'd you do instead?
Well, I painted my nails, I painted my toes. And then I washed my hair and I said, you know what, I want to put some rollers in my hair because, my hair's really fried. I just wanted to just take some time because I've been going through a lot for some time and my feelings are all over the place. I slept on the sofa again last night. I went to bed probably...
Well, before you go on, how many times is that this week?
The truth? Well, I know Sunday starts a new week since Friday.
Well, since Friday.
Yeah.
So it's been 4 days now you've been sleeping on the couch?
Only one of those days my husband came to me. Actually on Friday, why don't you just come in the bed? And I just was crying. So I just stood in the sofa.
I know you've been struggling with your husband, and I have to say I'm sorry again he won't be here to join us, but my primary focus is making sure that you're okay. So first of all, before we go any further, where are you right now? How are you feeling?
I don't want to say that I'm numb. It's just what my heart and what my gut tells me are two different things, so it's just hard. It's hard to kind of just see that all things are leading to something that I really wish wouldn't happen in a perfect world. But
well, what's that thing?
Divorce.
Divorce? So what are you telling me?
I'm telling you that my gut is telling me I need to get a divorce. But my heart is telling me I can't. I love him. But I just feel like when you work so hard at something alone, how can I ever accomplish what I really want for us? It's hard to work with someone. I'm going to be very honest with you, John.
Tell me.
So, if I cry, I'm sorry. But, where's my tissue, friends? So, I'll be very honest with you. My husband, for a long time, I feel like I have to hide my gains in life, things that I've achieved in life, because he's so down on himself all the time. And it got to a point where I finally said to myself 3 weeks ago, I'm like, what is it? Is it because of my money? Because of my job? Is it because I'm really working towards taking one step closer and closer to what I really want to do and achieve in life, of my long-term goals, and he's not quite there yet. So everything is changing. When we have sex, it's different. There's times where we're having sex and I feel empty, but I'm quite the actress. But I don't want to make him feel that way, so sometimes I feel like I'm just having sex just to make him happy, but I'm not happy. And then we got into a big argument. I don't know, actually Thursday night. And I don't know where the argument came from. All I know is he's just mad. He's just not nice. So he's always with the same stuff. So he tells me, well, maybe I'm having problems staying erected is the proper word. Because maybe I'm not attracted to what I see.
That had to have been hard to hear.
Oh, it's hard to say it. And then, even though he is for years, I feel like this man has tried to break me for years. And I feel like I'm finally broken. And I put this mask on, go to work, I do all these different things, keep myself very busy, but it's very real what I'm feeling. So this morning, because all these days I've been, on the sofa, and, he's been trying to be nice to me, but I really need space. I don't want to argue. But I told him, I said, I'm going to be honest with you. Since December, my gut has been telling me, you need to start preparing yourself. And I didn't want to believe that. That's why I bought my little gold car. God forbid if I can't pay off my Jeep, And I'm just trying to eliminate some of my monthly debt that I could eliminate, you know? So I'm paying things off, working very aggressive towards that. But it scares me because I'm a very type of person, right? So I'm just doing all these different things to get myself ready financially because I don't wanna, it's gonna be a big loss for my kids, big adoption, you know what I mean? But I'm preparing myself for that, but I'm not preparing my heart. So I was sitting down and I talked to my husband today and I'm like, you know, I told him the truth. I said, I'm gonna talk to you like a friend. And this is just the way I feel. I love you so much, but I have nothing else to give. When you're with someone and they constantly tell you you're ugly, or you don't feed them good, you don't have sex with them good, or everything is a complaint, you know? What are you working towards, right? What are you working for? There was a point in our marriage that I felt like you couldn't wait to get dressed up and look beautiful. Just, you get those butterflies in the stomach, you know? It's not like that anymore because everything I do, he expresses in a way that is like he can't stand me. And I keep lying to myself, you know, like maybe it's this or maybe it's that, but you know, I could honestly say I've tried everything. And the only thing left is like, I don't know, like if this is really where we're going, I just want to be happy. I want to be at peace. And I don't know that happy is not with him. Because I've been with him for 15 years, you know that, and we've been married for 5, but then it's like sometimes, you ever have something happen to you where you just feel like you just take a step back, and like you start connecting the dots backwards, and then it's like you start feeling like all the signs have been there, I just don't want to see it, because you hold on to like those good moments. And it's like, I can talk to him and I guarantee you, when I get home, there's gonna be flowers. And there's gonna be this. But we lack intimacy. And we lack, I just don't know what else to do with him. Because when someone tries to break you mentally, what else do you give someone? You know? I honestly just told him just like that. And he's always told me, if I hated you, you would know. If I didn't love you, you would know. I don't feel like our relationship is, the marriage is broken. That's what he's telling me today, John. And I'm telling him, but you're not hearing. You're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm telling you that you broke me. I'm telling you that relationship is like over. Can we get that back? So you can't tell me that that's not where, just because that's not where you are, I'm telling you how you make me feel, you know? I talked to him about counseling, honest to God. And I said, maybe we should talk to someone because I really do believe in my marriage. I believe in marriage. I believe in, making things work in life. Nothing is perfect. I know that, people grow. We've been with each other for so long. I say, sometimes we get the best of each other, but we could get the worst of each other too, right?
Of course.
But I think what helps me is maybe, because I'm still going to school for psychology and stuff, and I'm in my bachelor's. I'm working towards my bachelor's for it, but I'm thinking maybe some of the classes I'm taking is helping me help process and heal for myself, right?
Let me ask you a question. First of all, wow, that was quite a lot of information.
I feel like I could just go on and on and on, it's just...
It sounds like you've had that inside you for a while. And it sounds like you're pretty sure about how you're feeling, which is it's a really good sign. You've come to this point. But I want to go back to something. So many times I heard you say, I'm broken. I'm finally broken. He broke me. When you break, there's nothing left to give. But I had this image that come to mind and I want to share it with you. Some people hold an egg, right? This fragile shelled thing that you have to be very, very careful with. and then when it drops and breaks, some people say, oh no, I've ruined an egg. But some other people crack that egg open and they make an omelet out of it.
Mhm.
They make something different out of it, something wonderful. And so knowing what I know about you and seeing you and talking to you over the course of the time that we've been together, I'm much more apt to say that you've broken yourself open and there's something different on the inside. It might be different for you. It might not be something that you've remembered you had, or something that you've seen in a long time, or something that you thought had gone solid a long time ago. But it's all in there. You're letting these feelings out, you're starting to process, and I think that's a healthy and important piece. I am very surprised, I have to say, by the amount of work that you've put in, that you've done all of these things. When you talked about not seeing the signs, I've been doing this and I haven't seen the signs, you said to me, but at the same time you're telling me I'm paying off all these bills, and I bought this car, and I'm trying to put away this money, and I'm trying to do X, and that you've already talked to him about this, and that you've already done that. It sounds to me like you have seen the signs, and you've kind of been preparing for this moment. So now that you're in this moment, now that you've said all these things, now that you've let it out, how do you feel now?
I feel nervous.
Nervous? What are you nervous about?
Well, because I feel nervous. I don't know. I worry about my kids.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I don't care to sacrifice my happiness as long as they're stable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to interrupt that. I mean, they're both in crucial parts of their time in school. My son with his sports, my daughter in school. You know, it's just, it's hard. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I'm two people. The mom in me is like, you stick this out.
Mm-hmm.
You get through this, and you're gonna be okay. The kids are gonna be good. And it's like once they're in college, graduate high school and in college,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you take that time when you have empty nest going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
To just work on what you guys really need to do. That's the mom in me, right? And I'm like, I don't know that I can last that long.
Well,
You know? And then the woman in me is like, why do you keep fucking lying to yourself? It shouldn't be that hard. I understand relationships take work, right? If I didn't want to put in the work, for that you have a one-night stand. No work. You do what you want, boom, 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 you get what you need from each other, and there you go, right? Relationships are work because people are always changing. But it's just, when it gets to a point where it's just so much work, I just want to come home and be at peace. And it's almost like, why am I staying with you now? Is it because I'm not financially, am I scared to do things alone? Scared to be alone? Am I ugly? Can I please someone? You know what I mean? And it's crazy because I went shopping on Sunday early in the morning. I went grocery shopping, you know? Mm-hmm. And I saw one of my son's old coaches back in the day. I mean, he's not old. He's very cute, you know? But anyway, he saw me and said, oh, hi, how are you? And then I'm there getting my coat cuts. And he's like, you look so beautiful. Are you still married? You know, because I haven't worn my ring in some time, you know? Mm-hmm. I put it on here and there, like when the family comes around or if the kids ask. I'll be like, I was cleaning it, or, you know? Mm-hmm. And I tell you, I haven't had someone tell me that I look good or pretty in so long. I can't even tell you when was the last time. And it's crazy because I'm like, why do I have to feel like someone else needs to tell me that?
Let's stop right there for a minute. When that man told you were beautiful and asked you if you were still married, let's stay in that moment for a minute. You said it made you feel how?
It made me feel alive.
It made you feel alive? And how else did it make you feel?
It made me feel like someone noticed.
Like someone noticed?
And it made me
notice what exactly?
That I'm here, and that I'm young, and that maybe something I don't see in myself anymore. Beauty. Mm-hmm.
Something you don't see in
something
yourself.
Worthy of. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't look at myself as worthless. No. I think I have a lot to offer. Mm-hmm. But I have a low self-esteem. You know, and I don't want to, And that also scared me because I said to myself, I don't know where things are gonna go with my husband, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I want to empower myself for me. Like I'm doing all these things to prepare myself financially, right?
Mm-hmm. Let me just jump back in again because I don't want to get too far off track. You said alive. You said someone noticed you were here. You said young. You said something you see in yourself, right? Something that you might not see in yourself. You felt validated.
Mm-hmm.
You felt all these other things. Where is that in your marriage?
It's not.
Walk me back through to the time when you did have that. Help me understand so I can figure out what to change. When this man at the deli, this stranger who saw you, saw you as you wished, as you're telling me your husband doesn't see you. Help me understand when that was different.
To be honest with you, I don't even know. I feel like it's been a while.
So you
even further past probably even getting married. To be honest with you, I don't even know when's the last time my husband made me feel beautiful. I think when I first met him, you know, maybe that first year.
Did you not just go out on a date the other day?
We did, and we
And
got.
how did that go?
It did not go well. It went well. Like it was an argument getting to the place, and then it's a show in the place because I don't want my sister and her husband to think like, oh, this is so awkward. You know what I mean? But it's like, it wasn't like a big argument in my car. But what happened was we're driving and I'm trying to make conversation, but he's like this on the phone the whole time. So I'm like, okay, I'll put music on. Then, you know, they talk so much on the radio. So I'm just like, why don't you just put your phone down and, I don't know, let's read license plate or something. Let's just talk or, you know, I don't know. And he's like, oh, you know, just like that. I'm like, all I want is your attention. I don't want anything else. I just, you know, so it just leads to other things. And then it's side conversations and it's just. So even though in Boston I had a nice time, right? Because it was a fun experience. And then when we're on the duck tour, he has his arm around me. It doesn't feel real. Because it's not. I feel like when he wants to have sex with me, he'll talk all this shit about me, but when he needs to release himself, he makes me feel a certain way because I'm so like desperate just to feel a connection to him that I cave, right? And I still feel empty. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's even more crazy because when I connect the dots in time, I'm like, even the day that I was gonna get married, when I saw everyone walking up Notre Dame Church, I looked, my sister sat behind me because she was the maid of honor, you know, and she was carrying my veil super long. I swear I was baby Diana. And I started crying. She was, why are you crying? Don't mess up your makeup. I said, because I shouldn't marry him. I know we shouldn't get married because we have problems, you know. And she was, it's just a cold feet. And I said, seriously, just come in the truck. Let's go back in the limo and let's just leave. And she goes, you can't. She fought with me 15 minutes. And then I went up the stairs and I got married. We went on a honeymoon 3 days later. And the only picture my husband posted was of my big busted, beautiful blonde bombshell friend of our wedding, him with her. That's it. He wanted to see how many likes he would get. He said, let's see who gets more likes, her or me. So it's like, my husband sounds like an asshole and he's done a lot of asshole shit, you know? And I say to myself, why do I keep tolerating this shit? Has my husband cheated on me that I know of? No. Never hit me. Never stuff like that. You know, he's financially very smart, supportive. I don't have to worry the bills get paid. You know, responsible in that way. But he doesn't know how to be a good husband. My husband thinks because he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't go out and have fun, that makes him a good husband.
And does it in some way?
And I told him, I said, you know, I appreciate that you're not a drug addict. I appreciate that you're not an alcoholic. But because you have a drink doesn't make you one either. But does that make you a good person? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. So it's just, so what really prompted me to want to talk to you today, honestly, was I feel like I'm doing the right steps to get myself financially ready for what may or may not happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was terrified because when I went to the supermarket and this man told me that night I fantasized about that man. And I don't think he wasn't the most attractive man. It was just the idea of what I'm lacking. And what scared me was that I want to be able, I don't want someone, it's great to have someone think, oh, she still got it, you know? I need to love me. I don't know how. I need to look at me and think I'm pretty, or think I have to believe in what I say about myself, you know?
Well,
I don't know how to do that.
I think you just about hit the nail right on the head when you were talking about how that man in the store surprised you, because that's what I was thinking as well. Lots of times, you know, when people are facing a potentially traumatic situation, something that's difficult that they consider impossible, or like you said, they have no idea what they're going to do or how they're going to do it or what the future is going to hold, they go on lockdown. And what you're telling me is that you're on lockdown, right? Mm-hmm. You're prepared to like put your head down and plow your way right through this. No nothing, no never mind, you're just going to do it, you're going to come out on the other side. You just got to make sure your kids are okay, that you can pay your bills, that you can finish your schooling, that you can do your job, that you can this, that you can that, that you can this, that you can that, without any regard to what's right here.
It's too much. It's a lot.
Until you get on the other side. Mm-hmm. And when that man called you beautiful in the grocery store, he did more than just make you feel a certain way, enough to make you want to fantasize about him. He forced you for a split second to pick your head up and see the whole picture.
Yeah.
And he touched on your humanity right there.
Yeah.
He touched on a piece of you that you're trying real hard not to feel right now. And you're telling me yourself that you don't think you're prepared and you don't know how you're going to do it, but that's where our work is together. And do some stuff.
Yeah.
Let's take a break from the heavy stuff and let's play a game, shall we?
I like games.
Okay. I'm going to have you balance this board with me. Okay. In my hand I have a deck of cards. Ha, ha, ha. You know that game War?
Yes, I declare war.
You declare war.
I used to play that game.
So you remember it, right? Okay.
I mean, I remember some of it. You know what I mean? It's been a while. It's like a bike, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, so the idea is that we flip the cards, we deal out all the cards, and whoever has the bigger card gets the hand, right? And then if you have the same card as somebody else, you put down 3 cards and you flip and you win, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to change this up a little bit, all right? Every time you win a hand, okay? Every time you win a hand, you have to say something nice about yourself.
Okay.
Something you're good at, something you like about yourself, but something that sends you a positive message, okay? And you don't have to like say anything that you think I want to hear.
Yeah.
Just say genuine things about yourself, okay? And then if I win the hand, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Okay? You ready?
Let's
All right, let's deal these cards.
I don't remember giving out all these cards.
Nothing else to do but flip them. You ready?
Yep.
Alright. You can shuffle them if you want to, but we're going to do this. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go. Oh, you win.
Okay.
So what's the rule?
I have to say something about myself.
Something nice about yourself, something good.
I make a really good cinnamon bun waffle.
Yum. Alright. Ready? I win. So I get to ask you a question.
Yeah.
When's the last time you looked yourself in the eyes in a mirror?
I mean, I look in the mirror all the time,
I'm not talking about to do your makeup. I'm not talking about to check your hair. I'm talking about you stopped and looked at Crystal in the eyes.
in a while.
It's been a while? Okay. Ace. So our ace is on the high end or the low end?
That's what I was just gonna ask you.
It's yours.
Okay.
It's yours. Ace will be on the low end. Okay.
Okay. Something about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I love when I get a tan.
Okay.
The color I get.
What? The color that you get?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh. 1, 2, 3, more.
Oh my god! I declare war. Okay.
Oh, mine.
Yeah.
Okay, these are all mine. All right. My question for you is this: how strong do you believe you are?
I believe that I'm stronger than what I believe.
Fair enough.
If that makes sense.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yours.
Something nice about myself, you said.
Mm-hmm.
I love that I'm tall. Hides the weight.
People notice a tall person. Yours.
I love that I have an open heart.
Let's stay right there for a minute. You have an open heart, right? So is there room in there for you to love yourself?
It needs to be.
I think there is, right?
Yeah.
And I think you do love yourself. I just think that we have to help you remember that you do.
Yeah, I feel like I know I love myself, but
You haven't been caring for yourself.
no, and I feel like the partners I've had, whether it was my husband or the partner before him, did a real good job of making me feel like I wasn't, I don't know, good enough.
You know you are.
You know?
You told me so.
But do I feel that? You know?
There is the word. Rain it on me.
I'm trying to think. I think I'm funny.
I think funny too. Ready?
Even though I'm crying. But someone told me before, which I love, that tears are love.
Tears are love.
Ugh, when I heard that, I love that.
Love for yourself.
Yeah.
Mine question.
Okay.
If you had all the money you needed to be just fine, and you had a secure place to live, and all, if money wasn't an issue and you could make your ends meet, what would you be most worried about in your new situation?
My kids.
Your kids. Kids are amazingly resilient, you know. And your daughter's, what, 17 now?
16.
16. Your son's how old?
He's gonna be 14.
14. By this point in their life, and with strong parents, and it sounds to me in everything you've ever told me that you and your husband are strong parents.
Yeah.
And that this mama bear personality that you have, this hold my hand, I love you, you came from my vagina, how could you not love me? That whole personality, your kids at this age might, oh my gosh, Mom, but you know what? I bet you they're wonderful and resilient. I bet you and your family, if you wanted to, you could tell me stories about things you've overcome and how you've stood together as a family and how your kids undoubtedly know of anything in the whole wide world that you love them.
I just don't want them to hate their father.
Why would they?
Because I'm not perfect, but they see a lot, you know? They hear the arguments, you know? And
so what about you? I'm just trying to understand why you want to take blame or responsibility for your children's feelings about their father.
because I allowed it. You know, I feel like as a parent, if you see your son putting his fingers, about to put it in the socket, you're gonna maybe whack his hand or move it away. But you're not gonna just stand there and let him put his fingers in there. You know, and I just feel like I have no control of other people's actions,
Stop right there.
but I allow these actions to continue for years by accepting it, no? You know what I mean?
You may have, that's all, that, there's more to it than that. You're not responsible for the way somebody acts, you said it yourself.
Yeah.
But there's been an environment where this person has chosen to do these things, whatever they are. This person makes choices. And if he feels like it's within his right or his wants or his needs to make those choices, to do those things, you have no control over that. None. You're not responsible for that. Have you perhaps not made an effort to stop them? That's a different story. But allow is not, it's too much responsibility on yourself.
Yeah.
You know? He's a full-grown man, and from what you're telling me, he knows exactly what he wants and exactly what he needs, and he has no problem telling you exactly what he thinks. Unfortunately, it's not very supportive. However, you don't need to accept responsibility on that. You making a decision to be a better you is not your fault. Your marriage coming to an end, well, it takes two. You're the one.
I feel like a failure though, you know?
You're the one who finally voiced it, right?
Yeah.
But does that make it your fault?
No.
Were you so happily married until this morning and you were glorious and you treated each other wonderfully and he showered you with affection and love and compliments and positivity and you had what every woman ever wanted and then you just said, oh, I can't stand this, I'm done? No. Did you make a choice so that you wouldn't be unhappy anymore? Yes. Because like you said yourself, not so long ago, what you don't know if you could make it to the finish line. Your kids aren't 2.
True.
They don't need full-time attention. They're resilient, strong young adults. Will it make them sad? Probably. Will they be angry and upset? Yes. Can they talk to people too? Yes. Will they be broken and shattered and ruined and their lives will be over forever and the world will come to a grinding halt all because you made a decision that where you put you first? No. You're putting you first. That's okay.
That's what's hard. I feel like since I became a mom, I haven't put myself first. You know what I mean? It's just like, nope.
And there are times where that's going to feel like an impossible decision, but you're certainly not putting them first for your own satisfaction in some way, meaning you're not putting yourself first to go out and get drunk every night.
Yeah.
And you're not putting yourself first so that you can smoke weed and, you know, drink or whatever while they can't fix their own meals. You're not leaving them at school just because you're too busy out spending all this money you don't have. You're making a choice so that you can continue to be a strong, resilient person. You're making a change in yourself, just like you're coming to school.
Yeah.
You're making a change in yourself. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, there's me, another question. What's the first thing you're going to do when you get home tonight?
I am going to sit under the hairdryer and finish doing my homework. Wow, full of a lot of questions now.
And how are you going to begin to establish some boundaries for yourself?
I don't know yet.
Okay, we can work on that because I think it's important that you start to take some space for yourself too.
Yeah. I'm trying because, you know, this between school and work and everyone running around, I'm trying to even if it's 10 minutes. So it's like what I've been doing is like I'll sit in a nice hot, I don't have a hot tub, but like I'll sit in my tub and just soak. And I won't do anything, you know, just like, you know.
Back to you.
I know I'm smart.
You know you're smart. Another question. Are you going to be happy ever again?
I will.
You will? Of course you will.
I know I will.
Of course you will. One more. Another question for you. All right. Complete the following sentence. If I could do anything, change any one thing about myself, what would it be?
We'll feel free.
You would feel free? feel trapped now, do you?
Sometimes. I love being a mom, but sometimes I feel like it's had me constricted to try to just, work with what I have. It's like, it's better to know the devil you know than, the one you don't. It's interesting. The heart is interesting, man.
Go, last round.
I declare war.
7, mine. Final question. Should we follow this up with an appointment for next week? Because I believe we're running out of time, so I'm just gonna put these cards away and double check, and then I wanna give you a little homework before we go.
Okay.
Oh, I looked at the clock wrong. We still have 10 more minutes. So, first I do wanna give you your homework though. I think it's important that we work on your self-esteem a little bit. I think you've said it, and I would agree with you that I think that you're sort of wearing everyone else's mask, this mask that you talked about. And you talk about it almost like you've lost yourself, almost like somebody has put this on your head, and while you can see out from it, the mask from the outside looking in, you wouldn't know what it looks like. Because everybody's expectations are coming at you over and over and over, and you feel like it's not something you own, like not something you're attached to, almost like your identity isn't yours. Am I?
No.
Like that piece of you, this wife, this missus, is just, it doesn't fit. And so
sometimes everything doesn't fit though. I feel like probably my best memory was like 6 years old, going to a party, not having a clue what the hell I was doing dancing, but feeling just so free in the moment, just vibing. I haven't danced in so long.
Why not?
You know what I mean? It's just, in a perfect world, I probably would own a dance studio and love to see people move. However, their body takes them. And there's so much power in that. Just haven't danced. Just the little things I just stopped doing. I'm like, I've gained weight. I feel like I've let myself go. It's almost like, some people turn to alcohol, drugs. I feel like I've become this emotional eater. I'm not hungry, I'm just eating because I'm looking for comfort, right?
That's common people who are.
How do you just, there's just so much I want to work on, for myself. So I'm going to have you busy.
That's fine. I'm happy to meet with you. We can meet more than once a week if that's appropriate. But going back to what I was saying about the mask, it's easy to sort of feel a certain way on the inside.
Yep.
But maybe I could suggest something different. Maybe that mask that you feel like you're wearing is just covering up who you're becoming. Maybe it's not anything that you had put on you by someone else. Maybe it's just you outgrowing the old version of yourself. Marriages are a hard thing to end. They really are. It's messy. Feelings get hurt, hearts get hurt, but people grow and change. You said it yourself. All through it. And if you're growing and changing and shaping, you've gotten older, your kids are older, you're in school.
Do you think it's possible for someone to, like, I love that analogy you said about people, evolving, people growing. Just maybe it is another version of myself. Can someone grow in a marriage but reconnect if they feel
Of course,
disconnected?
but it takes two people to work.
Yeah.
Because really, the man that you are married to now is not the man you married 5 years ago. It's not the man you started dating 15 years ago. And the girl that you were is not the woman that you are now. Think about all the laughter and the tears and the bumps and the bruises and the good times and the bad. Through all that time, all of that has shaped you, right? You had children, your children are grown, you bought this house, you're in school. All of these things plus all the other infinite things that have happened to you have shaped and changed you. And in a relationship, it takes two people to want to stay on that same road. Because realistically, to get that back together, he'd have to be in a relationship with the woman you are now.
Yeah.
Do you think he's willing to do that?
I don't know. I think,
Have you asked him?
you know, I've talked to him. Because we go back and forth. You know, like we just are not on the same page. Today was the first time, I think in a long time, like he really listened to me. I don't know. I feel like I don't want to even hear him talk about anything. Just, if you're going to do something, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really feel like almost my whole body's almost out the door with the exception of my bum.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, there's not much there left, honestly. And it's like I could have a really good moment, and I told him this. We could have a good few days. It doesn't take much to be like, once something goes off, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you lying to yourself? You know what I mean?
Well, it's hard not to want to give up too. I think that we pretty much are out of time, but I do want to see you again later this week if you have some time.
Yeah.
Let me check my book. Today is Monday. How is Thursday same time?
That works.
I'll put you in. I'm gonna give you some homework if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
And I want you to do it,
I will.
okay? So, the very first thing I want you to do is go home and look at yourself in the mirror. Really look at yourself. And I'm not talking about like the glance. Look at yourself. See you. All right? And then when you come back, you tell me about how that made you feel. You might cry.
Yeah.
You might laugh.
Yep.
You might get mad. But you're gonna see you. That's the first step in getting to know yourself. Hi, I'm Crystal. Remember me? Look at yourself. The second thing, take this porta desk again. Just like we've done before. 3 things you're good at.
3 things I'm good at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna write it like the way I see it. Bullshitting.
Bullshitting.
Because I feel like I've been bullshitting my way through a lot of things.
All right. That's not bullshitting. That's called doing it with skill. You're a skillful negotiator. Being a parent, of course.
And what is the question again?
3 things you're good at.
I am good at being a parent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, then we'll just put that onto your homework. Next thing down. 3 things you're grateful for.
3 things I'm grateful for.
Mm-hmm. What are you grateful for?
Okay.
Your kid. Your life.
And
An opportunity.
don't worry about my spelling.
No. And the last thing, what do you want from yourself? Nope, just one.
One thing.
Yeah. What do you want from yourself?
Just to stand tall.
Perfect. Every night, I want you to look at this paper. You can rewrite it, you can decorate it, you can fill that in. Say to yourself, I'm good at bullshitting. I'm good at being a parent. I'm good at whatever that is. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for opportunity. And I just want to stand tall. Say these small positive affirmations to yourself. Remind yourself of who you are. Okay? So you're going to look at yourself and you're going to begin to remind yourself of who you are. Begin to connect with yourself. And it might feel awkward at first.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I'll do it in the bathroom when I'm relaxed.
Mm-hmm. Turn the shower on so nobody can hear you.
Yeah.
But it's important for you to start to get to know who you are, so that as we work on building up some resilience and work on building some coping skills and work on building your self-esteem, you, when you get through all of this, will be standing tall, because instead of you going through it like this and then getting to the end of it and going, who am I, where am I, what do I do? Think of it this way, you're coming through it head down, and by the end you're coming out and you're nice and tall. And I think that's a much more positive image, and I think that's much more suitable for you.
So how often should I do this?
Every night.
Every day.
Before you go to bed.
Okay.
Look at yourself and say these things to yourself.
Okay.
Okay? Sound good?